Before we begin, viewers are advised that the following content is intended solely for educational and entertainment purposes. What follows is the verbatim courtroom testimony from the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs, as reported by Inner City Press.
Okay, let's unpack this. A really recent event, lots of discussion online.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Backlash rapper Young Miami faced, right? After she shared that video.
That controversial video clip on social media.
And it was like immediately after the verdict came down in Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial.
Exactly. And what's, really insightful here isn't just that it happened, but why? Why this post right now?
Right.
It really shows how public figures are walking this like razor's edge. You've got digital freedom on one side, but then these immediate, pretty unforgiving demands for, empathy, accountability.
Especially when something so serious is involved, like actual human impact.
Precisely, especially then.
So you've shared some great source material with us. Our goal today really is to just walk through it piece by piece.
Yeah, let's break it down.
We'll look at the details of Diddy's verdict first, then Young Miami's post specifically.
And the public reaction, which was strong.
Definitely strong. We want to pull out the key info from these news excerpts and help you understand what exactly was going on and why it mattered so much to people.
Sounds good.
Okay, so the spark. What actually caused all this?
It started with that Instagram story.
Right, the one from Young Miami. Black and white. I remember seeing screenshots.
Yep, now deleted. It was a clip Justin Bieber smiling.
I'm making that hand gesture. The kind of sideways peace sign or whatever it is.
Yeah, that popular Gen Z gesture. And almost instantly, people online interpreted it as her reacting to the jury's decision.
Wow. Okay.
And the fallout, well, it was immediate, like you said, screenshots, even though she deleted it pretty quickly.
Too late, right.
Oh, yeah. Way too late. It just spread like wildfire online, and the criticism started pouring in.
And that gesture, I mean, it can be seen as kind of casual, maybe dismissive, like whatever, or it's fine.
Exactly. Sort of an it is what it is vibe for some people. Putting it in black and white maybe added to the ambiguity, but it definitely fueled how quickly people jumped to a negative conclusion about it.
Okay, but to really get why people were so outraged, we got to back up. We need to understand the verdict itself.
Absolutely critical context.
So can you walk us through the specifics? The jury decision came down Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025, right?
That's correct. It was a 12-member jury, and they delivered what's called a mixed verdict for Sean Combs, or Diddy.
Mixed verdict. Okay, what does that actually mean in this case?
It means he wasn't found guilty on everything, but he wasn't acquitted on everything either. It can be kind of confusing for the public sometimes.
So what were the charges he was facing again?
There were 5 serious federal charges. Number 1 was racketeering conspiracy.
Okay, the big one. RICO.
Yeah. Then multiple counts of sex trafficking, specifically by force, fraud, or coercion, and also transportation for prostitution.
And Diddy's position was?
He denied all charges. Right from the beginning, maintained his innocence across the board.
Okay. So the jury comes back.
Yeah.
Mixed verdict. What did they decide specifically?
So they acquitted him on 3 of those 5 charges.
3 acquittals, but
He was convicted on the other 2, counts 2 and 5.
and those were?
Both related to sex trafficking and transportation for prostitution.
Okay. And the sources mentioned alleged victims in relation to those counts.
Yes, the counts he was convicted on specifically mentioned Cassie and another individual identified in the case as Jane.
Wow. So what does that mean for him now in terms of sentencing?
Well, it's significant. By being acquitted on the racketeering charge, he avoided a potential life sentence. That was the big one.
Right.
But these convictions on counts 2 and 5 are still very serious. He faces up to 20 years in prison.
20 years total, or each?
It's 10 years maximum for each of those 2 remaining charges, so up to 20 total.
And prosecutors.
Federal prosecutors have already gone on record saying they plan to seek the maximum penalty.
Okay. So that's the backdrop. Pretty heavy stuff.
Very serious. And a mixed verdict like this often leaves people, grappling with it. It's not a clear win or loss in the public eye.
Right. So, okay, connect it back, boys. We have this really serious verdict. Convictions on sex trafficking. And then almost immediately, people see this seemingly maybe innocuous post from Young Miami with the Bieber clip. How does that specific post blow up so fast? Is it purely the timing?
The timing is huge, obviously. It was almost like perfectly synchronized with the news breaking.
Yeah.
But I think it goes deeper. There's this strong societal expectation now. Sensitivity is key, especially when you're talking about allegations like sex trafficking.
People expect a certain response.
Yeah.
Or maybe lack of response.
Exactly. If someone associated with the accused doesn't immediately show what's perceived as the right level of seriousness or empathy,
Or just stays quiet, maybe.
or posts something seemingly unrelated and upbeat,
Yeah.
yeah, it can be seen as like an endorsement or just plain insensitive.
And the reactions were visceral, right?
Yeah.
The sources mentioned specific words people used.
Oh, absolutely. People online called the post gross, weird. Someone said it was crazy and disgusting.
I think I saw a quote, something like, "Crazy and disgusting how Young Miami used Justin Bieber as a meme to flex about Diddy. Sit down."
Yeah, that was one of the direct quotes floating around. Really captures the anger.
It's kind of sobering, isn't it? How fast a public image can get damaged by one perceived misstep online.
Especially when the backdrop is this serious.
Did the sources mention other kinds of criticism? Beyond just like general disgust?
Yeah, there are other angles too. Some people suggested, ulterior motives.
Like what?
Well, one comment mentioned in the reports read something like, "I guess she'll be back on Diddy's payroll."
Ah, okay. So speculating about her relationship or dependency on him.
Exactly. It kind of broadened the criticism. It really highlights how closely public figures get scrutinized now for their immediate reactions, their digital footprint,
Yeah.
especially around major news events, particularly when there's, significant human cost involved. It's not just about the post itself anymore.
About what the post implies. Or what silence implies.
Precisely. The perception is incredibly powerful.
Okay, so let's recap for everyone listening. Today, we've really done a deep dive into, first, the specifics of Sean Diddy Combs' mixed verdict.
Understanding those convictions for sex trafficking and transportation for prostitution.
And the seriousness of those charges. And then we look at the immediate and pretty intense controversy around Young Miami's social media post right after that verdict.
Yeah. And if you kind of zoom out, connect this to the bigger picture, it really throws a spotlight on these complex dynamics, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Between, huge legal cases involving celebrities, what the celebrities do or say online, and then us, the public, and our expectations around sensitivity, accountability.
How quickly we react.
Right, how quickly narratives form and just harden online, and the immense pressure that puts on public figures. They're expected to navigate these supercharged situations with perfect judgment instantly.
It's a lot.
It is. It kind of challenges all of us, to think about how we process information, how we react, especially in the digital age.
Particularly when really serious human issues are at the core.
Exactly.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with. What does this specific incident, this whole Young Miami Diddy situation, reveal to you? About where we are now with public figures and their responsibilities. And about the power, maybe the unforgiving nature of social media, and just how we as a society process news about these serious legal outcomes and, the very real human cost behind them.